What's going on, everybody? RJ Ochoa here from SB Nation's bloggingtheboys.com. Hope all is well wherever you are. We hope you're happy, safe, healthy, and that you're ready for the final week of March to make its way through. We are almost to April, which means we are almost to the 2023 NFL Draft. Got about a month to go, but we're really excited. Obviously, we're going to have a lot of fun draft coverage for you here on the Blogging the Boys YouTube channel. So make sure you do subscribe. Make sure you follow us, Blogging the Boys, on Twitter, Instagram. Subscribe here again to the YouTube channel. Subscribe to our podcast network. We have all sorts of stuff coming out all the time concerning the Dallas Cowboys. We are gathered here today, Monday, March 27th, 2003, to talk about things that somebody else talked about. Jerry Jones in front of local reporters on Monday out at the NFL owners meetings, and touched on a few subjects, all of them really rather interesting. So let's go ahead and get started. We have some tweets for you on the screen. According to Clarence Hill of the Fort Worth Star-Telegram, Jerry Jones said that the Cowboys never offered Ezekiel Elliott a contract adjustment to return before releasing him for cap reasons, but he has not closed the door on him returning if he doesn't sign with another team. So obviously it's been a emotional 2 weeks for the Cowboys since they released Ezekiel Elliott. Just as last weekend was kind of getting off the ground, there was the report from Adam Schefter that Zeke had a preferred list of 3 teams that included the Philadelphia Eagles. The other 2 teams were the New York Jets and Cincinnati Bengals. In case you missed that, we had a YouTube short up here on the channel for those of you that saw. Congratulations. But the market for Zeke is something that seems to be a little bit slow right now. And honestly, it is not impossible in my mind that Zeke doesn't wind up on a different team, that we get to training camp or something like that, and that the Cowboys decide to bring back. I say not impossible because anything is possible. It does seem like the Cowboys are moving on in a formal sense. They signed Ronald Jones to a vet minimum contract. That seems to be kind of their other running back option besides Tony Pollard, and whether it's going to be Malik Davis or Rico Dowdle, if they're going to draft a rookie, wherever they draft a rookie. I know there's a lot of people who want to see Bijan Robinson be that guy. What's more is earlier on Monday, before the news of Jerry Jones speaking kind of made the rounds, was reported by different people, Michael Gelkin of the Dallas Morning News, John Machota of The Athletic, that the Cowboys are giving number 21 to Stephon Gilmore. That is right. It was Patrick Walker, who I saw first on the scene, to tweet this out of DallasCowboys.com. Stephon Gilmore, newest Dallas Cowboys corner, is going to be wearing number 21. If you follow Stephon Gilmore on social media, he had kind of teased at this idea a few weeks ago himself. He had posted a photo of Deion Sanders, obviously wore number 21 for the Cowboys, but obviously Zeke Elliott is coming off of wearing number 21 for the Cowboys. And I don't know that I think this is a disrespectful thing. I know a lot of people are going to kind of leap to that conclusion. It just seems like the Cowboys are moving on. It seems like this is what makes sense. Now, for what it's worth, as Zeke kind of began his foray into free agency, his first tweet after the Cowboys released him was about getting his number 15 back. You may recall, maybe you don't, that Zeke Elliott, when he was a star at The Ohio State University, wore number 15 when he was drafted in the NFL. The old rules were still in place where running backs could not wear numbers beneath the number 20, but we now live in a world where that is possible. So Zeke Elliott, wherever he ultimately signs, even if that's back with the Dallas Cowboys, could wear that number 15. Dak Prescott also wore number 15 in college. So there's that connection if you want to make it. But either way, I don't know what's going to happen here with Zeke Elliott, but the Cowboys keeping the door open, that would be, I don't want to say a step backwards, because that makes it seem like adding Zeke makes the Cowboys a worse football team. But the Cowboys did the emotional thing. They made the Cowboys did the non-emotional thing. They made the non-emotional decision to move on from Zeke Elliott. And I think we all commended them for that. We wish Zeke nothing but the best. But it would be rather strange for the Cowboys to bring Zeke back, even if he is wearing number 15 at some point in the future. Let's move on, though. This was the update that kind of caused a little bit of a tizzy. This tweet from Nick Eatman, also of DallasCowboys.com. Jerry Jones says at the NFL owners meetings that he sees Terence Steele still as a tackle and providing offensive tackle depth with Tyron and Tyler Smith. As for left guard, the draft is probably the best spot to address that need, but Jones didn't rule out using someone from within. The Cowboys, as far as free agency is concerned, did sign Chuma Adaga. That is another option for them as far as the interior is concerned. And they have to figure something out, because while you and I or whoever may not be the biggest Connor McGovern fans, the facts are that the Cowboys have lost their star guard Tyler Smith was playing left tackle. I wouldn't say this time last year, but about, 11 months ago, right after the 2022 NFL draft, the plan was Tyron Smith at left tackle, Tyler Smith, then a first-round rookie at left guard, and then everything else chalk. Tyler Biadasz at center, Zach Martin at right guard, and Terence Steele at right tackle. This was coming off of the Cowboys releasing Lyle Collins. Obviously, what is up with this tweet? This is a weird tweet, right? The first part of it here. Jerry Jones says at the NFL owners meetings that he sees Terence Steele still as a tackle. Who sees him as anything else? Why is this conversation being had in any way, shape, or form? I don't understand why we're now talking about or exploring the idea of moving Terence Steele anywhere but tackle. Why would he kick inside? That has never been what Terence Steele has done for the Dallas Cowboys since they found him in undrafted free agency in 2020. If we go to the next tweet from Clarence Hill as well, Jerry Jones said that the Cowboys are not considering moving Terence Steele to left guard. He says Steele is too valuable as a swing tackle tandem behind starters Tyler Smith and Tyron Smith tackle. Again, who's talking about this? Who is throwing this out, Jerry, that you feel the need to throw some cold water on the idea of Terence Steele playing guard? Nobody thought that this was a thing. This kind of feels like a story that Jerry Jones made up and then had the answer to all on his own. But also, are you telling us that these are your starting tackles? Are Tyron Smith and Tyler Smith your starting tackles? Because if that's so, who's playing left tackle? All along, since the Cowboys restructured Tyron Smith's deal, and I say all along like it's been 10 years or something, it's only been about a few weeks at this point, if that. But since the Cowboys restructured Tyron Smith this offseason, and we knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that Tyron was going to be returning to the Cowboys in 2023, the presumptive offensive line, left to right, has been what the Cowboys envisioned at the beginning of the 2022 season. Tyron Smith, Tyler Biadasz, Zach Martin, Terence Steele assuming full health, and the Cowboys have spoken optimistically about him coming back, being ready for training camp, coming off of that torn ACL that he suffered in the win against the Houston Texans. All that being said, why is this tweet that Clarence tweeted out what it is? Why is Jerry talking about the starting tackles being Tyler Smith and Tyron Smith? This is where the confusion, I think, is coming. And we honestly have no idea what the Cowboys are going to be doing here. Is Tyler Smith going to be starting at left tackle? You're going to leave him out there? Are you going to leave Tyron at right tackle where he finished the season after Terence Steele got hurt? If that's the case, then yeah, you do need a guard. Are you going to have Terence Steele not start? Is he going to be your full-time swing tackle? Is that why you're not focused on bringing back Jason Peters? We have a lot of questions, obviously, as a result of this conversation. In my mind, the best offensive line is the combination I have said multiple times already in this conversation. Tyron, Tyler, Zach, Terence. You don't need to mess around with anything else. If and when Tyron Smith gets hurt, you kick Tyler Smith outside. You still have to have some interior depth. That is something we've been talking about since Connor McGovern left in free agency to the Buffalo Bills. Chuma Edoga helps mitigate that situation, but maybe that's where the Cowboys are focusing on the draft. Maybe the Cowboys want to come away from the early portion of the 2023 NFL draft with some interior depth. It would not be the first time they did that. We know the Cowboys evaluate offensive linemen about as good as anybody in the NFL. So if they come away with some legitimate depth, then I think that makes us all feel better about the future offensive line of this team, because Tyler's obviously going to be the left tackle of the future. You have to find that starting left guard. Before you know it, unfortunately, you're going to have to find a starting right guard. Time moves quickly. Time is undefeated. But either way, this was a very strange thing to kind of pop out of nowhere. Like, yeah, well, parents. No, nobody has been saying that Terence Steele should be playing hard for the Dallas Cowboys, but sometimes Jerry Jones is as Jerry Jones does. Final thing for us to get to as far as Jerry Jones updates are concerned, we did have an article with all of this discussion, by the way, up for you at blogontheboys.com. If you want to see everything and see some more analysis, you can always check out BTB for the latest and greatest in the world of the Dallas Cowboys. Another tweet from Nick Eatman. Jerry Jones said progress is being made to re-sign defensive tackle Johnathan Hankins. We're working to get something done there. Johnathan Hankins is kind of the final infinity stone for the Cowboys this offseason. They've done just about everything that we could have possibly asked. They brought back Donovan Wilson and Leighton Vander Esch. They brought back critical, crucial role players. Cooper Rush is an example of that. Obviously, you look at, you can't bring back everybody. We know that that is the case. We know that you can't obviously bring everybody back, but the Cowboys did place the franchise tag on Tony Pollard. They obviously placed the second-round tender on Terence Steele. They brought back their key contributors. They lost players, but they didn't really lose anybody that I think anybody's devastated by. They had some solid additions, obviously headlined by the trades for Stephon Gilmore and Brandon Cooks. The last place that the Cowboys are kind of lacking, because we are assuming that the offensive line situation is taken care of, is along the interior of defensive line. Osa Odigizua is an interesting option. Quinton Bohanna is an interesting option, but the Cowboys need somebody who they can rely on. Johnathan Hankins, you may have forgotten, was a player who they traded for a week before last year's deadline. If the Cowboys bring back Johnathan Hankins, they truly, totally, absolutely, unequivocally can go into the 2023 NFL draft with no glaring holes. They can draft the best player available. It seems inevitable that the Cowboys are going to bring back Johnathan Hankins, but of course, crazy things happen. Things are unpredictable. You never know what's going to happen. So we will see, but it's nice to hear that the Cowboys are at the very least working on it. They have been hard at work this offseason. We've said many times they deserve their props, so we're going to give them the benefit of the doubt. What will the rest of this week have in store for the Cowboys? I have no idea, but, I'm interested and anxious to find out. And whatever happens, we will have you covered right here on the Blog of the Boys YouTube channel. So make sure you subscribe. If you want to turn on alerts, it's up to you. I'm not going to force you into it, but it's up to you if you want to. My name is RJ Ochoa. You can follow me on Twitter or Instagram at RJ Ochoa, on TikTok, rj.ochoa. You can send me an email if you'd like, rj.ochoa@sbnation.com. You can leave a comment down below. Like I said, we have some fun things in store for you that we're working on with regard to the 2023 NFL Draft. Cannot wait. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. But for now, I bid you adieu. I hope you have a wonderful day, a wonderful night, a wonderful morning, and I can't wait until I see you again. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. We'll see you next time.